ladies and gentlemen, he has, of course, been instrumental in shaping the strategic direction of the Pakistan's banking industry. As chairman of the Pakistan's Banks Association and the president and CEO of the Bank of Punjab, he has championed collaboration, innovation, and reforms that strengthen the country's financial ecosystem. Please join me in welcoming the chairman of the Pakistan Banks Association, Mr. Zafar Masud, for his welcome address.
Finance Minister Sahab, Governor Sahab, SBP officials, Ministry of Finance officials, my own very dear banking fraternity, business leaders, speakers, especially our international guests, and of course, our most favorite media. And I tell you why you are the most favorite, because you have to take this narrative forward. We will talk about it today, but you have to carry it through to the masses. Finance Minister, the theme of my presentation today is progress made, promise ahead, and partners in step. So what we have delivered since the last summit, and ladies and gentlemen, for those who are not aware, this congregation, this initiative of summit that you are seeing was set by none other than our finance minister when he was the chairman of Pakistan Banks Association. He was the one who initiated it, and he was the one who was there for the first summit and now for the second one as well. So thank you very much, sir. Let me very proudly, Finance Minister Sahab, share with you the achievements that we've done in the last 1 year in putting our house together as PBA, and then bringing the entire industry together as well on the same platform, making it more inclusive. I'm very pleased to share with you that first time in the history of Pakistan Banks Association since 1953, the actual ballot and voting has happened. The elections have been happening, but there has been no voting as such because the decision was taken with consensus. This is the first time the election took place, and that shows, you know, the interest and the trust of the industry in the institution. This election took place after a gap of almost a decade, and we've made the whole executive committee more inclusive now, with adding 2 women representative to it as well. We have been able to, and I remember that very distinctly, Finance Minister Sahab was the one who supported me on this. I was a senior vice chairman under his stewardship, that we started on a journey of bringing in more talent into PBA. And today we have probably the best team around that I can safely say. The engagement with and in terms of putting the narrative forward, putting it loud and clear, there has been enormous engagements, 162 plus videos, 127, static posts, many podcasts and many media appearances, which was, by the way, unheard of in PBA before. And then there were 14 events, Finance Minister Sahab, between the last summit and this summit, which we promised with you as a follow-up. And we would like to pursue that going into the future also, this time round as well, between PBS 2 and PBS 3. There were collaborations with institutions like Infrazam in Pakistan. There has been collaborations with the SERP. There has been collaborations with the SECP. And there were events on capital market, for example, which we believe is very critical. And yesterday's, great initiative that taken by Governor Saab and Finance Minister Saab in terms of allowing, people to invest in government securities directly will certainly benefit banking industry. And I'll tell you how in a bit. In terms of engagement and amplifying the government agenda and schemes, PBA has done a phenomenal job there too. You can see that, the government schemes or RDA, or for that matter, as a thought leader in terms of what needed to be done on the micro level, and what the industry is supposed to do is also being amplified well during this period. But it doesn't end here. We believe, Governor Saab, that we shall be accountable to our industry as PBA of what we are delivering to them. And therefore, an initiative has been taken whereby Ipsos has been engaged to do a perception study of PBA and figure out what they have achieved and what they more need to do in terms of making a real impact and improving themselves. This report we actually want to present in this congregation only, but unfortunately it wasn't ready. It'll be ready by the middle of July, and inshallah it will be made public very, very soon. When you came into the government, आपने पहला इनिशिएटिव जो लिया था वो ये लिया था कि प्रायोरिटी सेक्टर का इकोसिस्टम जो है उसको डेवलप करें और पॉलिसीज को स्ट्रेंथन करें. I am very pleased to share with you these are the outcomes of those task forces that were set up on your motivation. We have been able to do a serious headway in SME agriculture and digital on both policy front and in terms of numbers as well. I'll share with you the numbers in a bit, although I must say that there is a lot of concentration there and the entire industry has to step up and make sure that they also contribute towards that number. But having said that, the numbers are actually phenomenal, and we'll share it with you in a bit. But on the policy side, the key policy, and I must, thank Finance Minister Saab and Governor Saab for extending the first loss guarantees on SME agriculture, which has actually made a big difference in terms of leveraging it to 6 to 8 times, and then, making these programs possible to be rolled out and becoming a success. On the cash side, for example, CDMs, despite a cost element attached to it, merchant QR codes, although it's a revenue leakage for the banking industry, we believe in the larger interest of the country and our own interest. In long term, we have to invest now so that the ecosystem will be there on the cashless side. All those things were achieved in the last 18 months. On the digital side, however, the larger ecosystem initiatives are still to be implemented. The first and the foremost, and the one which will make a big impact as far as financial inclusion is concerned in the future, is financial data exchange. और फाइनेंस में साहब आपकी खास तौर से सर हमें सपोर्ट चाहिए होगी इस पे, बिकॉज हम ये समझते हैं इफ फाइनेंशियल डेटा एक्सचेंज कम्स थ्रू, जिसको आप वसल का नाम दिया गया है, वी आर वर्किंग वेरी क्लोजली विद पीडीए, उनके रिप्रेजेंटेटिव भी यहाँ मौजूद हैं, और द अदर वन इज नादरा. वी आर वर्किंग विद दैट टू मेक श्योर the financial data exchange takes off, and this will be a major, initiative in terms of taking the financial inclusion to the next level. The second one is eKYC. I must put the hand on my heart and say, थोड़ी सी procrastination इस पे हुई है, थोड़ा delay है, but अल्लाह का शुक्र ये है कि हम वहाँ पहुँच रहे हैं आहिस्ता आहिस्ता. 14 बैंक्स लाइव हो चुके हैं, 11 एडिशनल बैंक्स जो हैं वो लाइव होने जा रहे हैं, और बिफोर द ईयर एंड इंशाल्लाह गवर्नर साहब इंशाल्लाह आपको जहमत देंगे to then formally launch it and take it forward. On the other two major initiatives, SAPI, which is SME Environment Performance Index, the first report is expected to be out by August 2026, and the implementation will take by December 2026. Will help us in assessing the SME risk, especially in the undocumented sector. This is the idea of SAPI, and we think that this will help us in meeting our target, that steep target that the Governor Sahab has set for us for 1.5 trillion rupees for 2028 with the initiatives like this. Cashless Pakistan initiative, Finance Minister Sahab, you are intimately engaged with this. Governor Sahab is also engaged with this. Banking industry has met all their targets with flying colors there. And we'll continue to do that in the future. By the way, ये आप लोगों की तारीफ हो रही है, आप लोग तालियां बजाएं खुल के, कोई परेशानी नहीं है। जो 3 बड़े इनिशिएटिव फाइनेंस मिनिस्टर साहब हैं, जिसमें पीबीए बहुत एक्टिवली इन्वॉल्व रही विद द स्टेट बैंक एंड द मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ फाइनेंस। यहाँ के अदनान पाशा भी बैठे होंगे जो बहुत एक्टिवली इसमें काम करते रहे। इसमें हमने इसके हमने जो तीनों प्रोग्राम हैं बहुत एक्टिवली हमने वहां पर ना सिर्फ स्कीम को डिजाइन करने में बट रोलिंग इट आउट एंड नाउ कंटिन्यूसली इवैल्यूएटिंग फॉर द इम्प्रूवमेंट। वी आर स्टिल एंगेज विद देम। These are early days for these 3 schemes. One is agriculture, the other one is environment, the third one is housing, but the numbers are very encouraging and I can safely tell you the eventual outcome will be phenomenal. Now the banking in perspective, standing in your own court, in your witness box now. If you recall, people who were here during PBS1, that these are the areas where the banking industry was criticized for shying away or not contributing towards the economy. What have we done in all those areas? Let me just pick all of them up one by one. We've been told that we try and evade the taxation. We've challenged the ADR tax at that time. All we are saying is, Finance Minister Saab, that the distortions shouldn't be there. The windfall distortion is still looming on our heads, although ADR has been resolved. But the distortive tax is something that we are opposed to. But I must tell you that the banking industry in Pakistan is the single largest tax contributor in the country. 1 trillion rupee plus this year. Banking industry is paying around 53 to 54% nominal tax and effective tax of 60%, which is the highest, 1.6 times higher than the region. People blame us that we lend to the government and we don't lend to the private sector. There is a separate reason for it why we have to lend to the government, which I agitated last time. I'm not going to repeat this again, but all I can tell you is, in the last 3 years, our private sector lending has increased by almost 1/3. And in the last year alone, because Governor Saab had challenged me on this number yesterday, last year alone, we have been able to stack up 13% more to the private sector than what the number was there a year before. Now, these are phenomenal numbers. As you can see, it was stagnant trend, and I haven't gone beyond 2023. If you go beyond 2023, you'll see that this trend was static. It was between 8 and 9 trillion. That myth was broken, and now we are at 11 trillion, and the travel continues. On the digital side, as you can see, the digitization of the banking industry has outpaced the currency in circulation, which increased by 44%, whereas the banking industry contribution in terms of number increased by 78%, in terms of amount increased by 387%, almost 4 times. And now 92% of the retail transactions, ladies and gentlemen, are done digitally. It's not a small feat, it's a big number, and you deserve a round of applause for this. The moot point. We think we have done exceptionally well on these sectors, priority sector lending. However, I must confess that I have to surrender to the Governor Saab and the Finance Minister Saab that there is concentration with few banks, and this needed to be expanded and go across all the banks. Having said that, since I am representing the industry right now, I just like to share with you the key numbers. On agriculture side, the lending has increased in terms of amount around 40%. There has been a trend of declining number of borrowers since 2019, and that trend has been reversed now almost a couple of years ago, and now it's at 3 million from 2.7. It came down from 4 to 2.7, and now it's gone back to 3. And Governor Saab has set an extremely steep target for us which we committed to meet, Governor Saab, is 5.8 million borrowers by 2028. And inshallah, we will meet that number. On the SME side, the performance is even better. 111% growth in the number of borrowers, 81% growth in amount. Ladies and gentlemen, in housing, the numbers are absolutely mind-boggling. 300, almost 4 times growth in the number of borrowers and almost double the amount in the last 1 year. But this is primarily at the back of the Government of Punjab housing scheme and the federal government housing scheme, which has just been introduced. We have seen a very good traction there too. And you will see these numbers exponentially increasing next year. Women inclusion, Seema Kamil is here. She wanted me to talk about it. Obviously, unka initiative tha banking on equality. Aap ye, Seema, you can see that, 29% growth in amount and 151% increase in the number of borrowers. Pace of Islamic banking conversion, banking industry is fully committed to meet the deadline of December 2027. And we, as you can see, the progress is very much there, 35% growth, 28% growth in assets, 35% in deposits. There are certain items which has been clarified by the government in the recent document which has been released by them on the strategic outlook of the banking industry or the financial sector. And those answers have been received, and some of the answers we are working with the government to find a solution to. Having said that, 2027 December number is sacrosanct for us, and we stand committed, Finance Minister Saab and Governor Saab, to deliver on our part. Our expectations from the government and from the industry. From the government, Finance Minister Saab, I must say that we have been talking about it a lot, but you have actually put that in action in terms of increasing the taxation broadening. And we believe that we will be the single biggest beneficiary of that broadening in due course of time, because not only it will create some kind of room for us on the liquidity side, but more so documentation of the economy will allow us to lend to those sectors which are undocumented right now. We have moved in that direction, and we would just like to highlight, Finance Minister Saab, that taxation policy should be economic development driven, not fiscal driven, which has been the trend in the past. I know you've set up the office, and the next couple of years, we are hoping that they will remove distortions and we will move towards more economic development driven fiscal policies. We would request you to kindly continue with supporting the priority sector in terms of first loss guarantee, and we would also like your engagement, Finance Minister Saab, to bring the provinces on board for digitization and for contributing on the interest subsidy side. Like Punjab has done, the other provinces have to step up as well. We've already talked about financial data exchange, and for the industry which is present here, my recommendation, my suggestion, my submission to you all is, please get yourself documented. Please start paying the taxes which is due on us. Until unless you pay your share of taxes, banking industry will continue to pay a higher tax rate and will not be able to contribute towards the economic development of the country. Finance Minister साहब, मैं इस फोरम का फायदा उठाते हुए आपका शुक्रिया अदा करना चाह रहा हूं जो आपने इनिशिएटिव लिया with the Chief Justice साहब in terms of putting the legal reforms together. There is a substantial headway which has already taken place in that direction, and now we need your support to bring this to the finishing line. We've already submitted our suggestions, especially in 2 areas. One, the alternate delivery dispute resolution mechanism, and the other one is the operational side, the movable assets attachment issue. So आपने जिस तरह हमें पहले सपोर्ट किया है फाइनेंस मिनिस्टर साहब, उस तरह आपकी सपोर्ट हमें और चाहिए होगी टू जस्ट ब्रिंग दिस टू द फिनिशिंग लाइन. नेक्स्ट वन, इससे पहले कि आपको फाइनेंस मिनिस्टर साहब ये कहें, आपको बाद में गवर्नर साहब ये कहें, मेरा ख्याल है मैं खुद ही आपसे ही कह देता हूं, क्योंकि मैं ये समझता हूं कि बिल्कुल जस्टिफाइड बात है ऑन द पार्ट ऑफ फाइनेंस मिनिस्टर टू आस्क कि अपने रिस्क एपेटाइट को प्राइवेट सेक्टर के लिए इंप्रूव कीजिए. फाइनेंशियल इंक्लूजन drive shall be at scale, commit to internal ADR targets, continue to focus on automated digitization and particularly digital lending. And most importantly to my mind, and we discussed it yesterday with Governor Saab, Atif Bajwa Saab has taken a lead on this one, that Finance Minister Saab, we believe that the single biggest pearl in our banking industry right now is the development of our human capital and people. And we have decided that we'll work with State Bank of Pakistan for upgrading the skills. Shahzad Naqvi Saab bhi mujhe kal ye keh rahe the. We've already done that, Shahzad Saab, yesterday with Finance Minister Saab, with Governor Saab, and we are taking it forward in collaboration with each other. In fact, the academia which is represented here, by the way, last year was the first time any conference organized for the business, academia was given the space. And emulating us, जावेद साहब ने बड़ा अच्छा काम किया कि इन्होंने भी बुला लिया उनको, हमें देखा देखी, मगर ये हम चाहते हैं कि हमें देखा देखी बाकी लोग भी ये काम करें. तो बड़ी अच्छी बात है, academia को space देनी चाहिए. We would like academia to come forward and put their suggestions to us in this endeavor as well. And our international friends who are here, if they want to be partners with us for international training, we'll be very happy to talk to you and take it forward. At least this was particularly for you, although there are our international friends as well, especially from Islamic banking side, Farooq Saab is here and all. Lastly, Governor Saab and Finance Minister Saab, banking industry ने last year बहुत major role play किया है in terms of circular debt resolution. We have been able to restructure and do a fresh loan of 2.4 trillion, which is historic. It has never been done in the past. So that in due course of time, the rates of electricity will come down for masses. The restructuring of PIA debt of 300 rupees has resulted in breaking the jinx for privatization, which has been there for 2 decades. PIA privatized ho chuka hai, and now there are 28 other entities which are in the pipeline, and we are very confident that they will go through with success as well. Banking industry was the first one who took the initiative, and by the way, on extremely unfavorable terms on the PIA restructuring, but eventually everything worked out well. Export refinance. We started with subsidy from our own pocket of 3%. Now it's 4.5%, and we stand committed until June 2027 that we will continue to support our exporters, make them more competitive on the financing side. Professor साहब, मैं ये जो आखिरी वाला आइटम है ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट इसलिए है, दिस इज वन ओपन आइटम जो हमें मार्केट बेस्ड इकोनॉमी की तरफ लेके जा रहा है. And we think that this solution we have already proposed, whereby wheat financing framework has been put forward via State Bank of Pakistan to the government, and we think that that is now a workable solution. Everything is done, documentation is ready, framework is ready. It's a matter of taking a decision and then taking it forward. Most recently, remittances, lifeline of Pakistan. Remittances, marketing, there is a whole very expensive marketing plan, by the way, which has been put in place and put in action by the banking industry of marketing remittances across globe. RDA 2.0 has been rolled out. मैं finance minister और governor साहब साथ थे जब हमने इसको roll out किया in Washington. Then I subsequently did 2 more road shows there, and we are continuing to do road shows on 2.0 RDA. And last but not the least, the recent decision that the government has on withdrawing the TT reimbursement charges. Let me assure you, Finance Minister Saab, Governor Saab, and इस forum के तहत to everybody, although it's a serious dent on the revenue of the banking industry, we stand committed to making sure that remittance won't fall. In fact, they continue to grow. तालियां बजा ले अपने लिए. आखिर में फाइनेंस मिनिस्टर साहब, मेरी जो प्रेजेंटेशन थी, इसके जो 3 थीम थे, which is what we've delivered, what we are promising ahead in partnership, उसको मैं एक the famous ode of Mustafa Zaidis to कुछ couplets निकाले and want to share it with you with due apology to our foreign friends, but I will translate them as well because it's important to translate. चले हैं तो कट ही जाएगा सफर आहिस्ता आहिस्ता. We've already embarked on a journey and we'll meet our target. अभी तारों से खेलो, चांद की किरणों से इठलाओ. Ladies and gentlemen, what we've achieved so far, let's celebrate it. We have been able to increase the private sector credit. Let's celebrate. जो मिल गया उस पे तो तारीफ करें अपनी, उसकी तो बात करें. दरीचों को देखो, चिलमनों के राज को समझो. Please try and understand the constraints of the government. Please try and appreciate what kind of situation they are operating in. उठेंगे पर्दा हाय बामोदर आहिस्ता आहिस्ता. This shall all be revealed to you in due course of time. Just be patient about it. Just listen to the governor and the state bank and the finance minister, and let's work with them. खिताब आहिस्ता आहिस्ता, नजर आहिस्ता आहिस्ता. We will be talking, and we'll see the results and the progress and our delivery as we go along in partnership with government and the State Bank of Pakistan. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, thank you so much, Zafar Saab, and I think what you have very eloquently put together is a thought for all of us. At the heart of every resilient economy lies the confidence to reform, the discipline to stay the course, and the vision to prepare for what comes next.
ज़फ़र के खिताब में कभी आहिस्ता नहीं होता है. वो यहाँ तो इस आहिस्ता की बात कर रहे थे, लेकिन काफ़ी सूरत उनके खिताब में रहती है. So I think the way I think Zafar has conceptualized the entire institutional strengthening of the Pakistan Banks Association over the last 1 year, and how the banks are delivering against the priority sectors, and how the relationship between the banks and the government of Pakistan is that for partnership. I think, and with a lot of navel gazing on part of the banks as well, because I think that's where also a development comes in. I think conceptualizes and really summarizes the mood for the next 2 days.